Hey all, so this is going to be a long-term review of Realme X mobile phone. The model name of this phone was RMX 1901. It was first launched around September 2019, and I think I was one of those people who bought it in the first sale. So it was launched at the price of around 20,000, and it was one of the few flagship handsets by Realme at that point of time. And the USP of this phone was, it was introduced. It was the first phone to introduce a pop-up camera, which was up till then only provided by OnePlus. Um, so that too in a price packet of 20,000 rupees. So since 2019 I've been using this phone as my daily driver, and I would say this has been one of the best phones that I have used in my life. And before I show you the internal part of it, let me just give you a product overview now. So you can see that this phone is still in a very pristine condition. um, there are literally no scratches or any screen damage or any screen damage or cosmetic damage at all on this device. And this I would attribute to me using the device cautiously, as well as the build quality itself was very good. So the screen is around 6.5 inch. It's a AMOLED screen with very nice brightness levels. It was completely readable during daylight time whenever I used it. And on the right hand side we have the power on off button. So it's having a yellowish tint here, so that looks very beautiful. And this is the SIM ejector pin. There was no memory expansion available on this handset. On the left hand side we have the volume up and down keys. On the top side we have the secondary noise cancellation mic as well as the pop-up camera. And on the bottom side we have type C port, a 3.5 mm headset jack, and the bottom firing speakers. So no dual speakers here, only the bottom speaker, but still the audio quality of this handset is very good. I would say maybe 4 out of 5 in terms of loudness and clarity. So like I said, it was one of the first devices out there to feature a pop-up camera, and also one of the first devices to have on-screen fingerprint system. So till this point th these features were reserved only for the flagship devices, and Realme was very smart to bring these features in the sub 20,000 price bracket. So let me just quickly change the wallpaper here to something dark, so that I can show you guys the screen quality. So you can see the AMOLED screen on this phone is flagship grade. There's absolutely no color shift or any green line or any such kind of defect here, even after my 4 years of usage. And this was a 8 GB 128 GB. Again, this specification was rare in 2019. It was again only reserved for flagship devices, but Realme was very smart to bring this configuration in the sub 20 price packet. And it was running Android 9 at that point of time, and I think I got Android 10 fairly quickly, and the last Android version this thing got was Android 11. So you can see the last update was received on 9th September 2021, and that's Android 11 running on Realme UI 2.0. So I wish this device could have gone to 2012, because the processor and the RAM and the hard disk does support it. Talking about the processor, it is running Snapdragon 710 processor. It was one of the few processors in that point of time to bringing the AI features. I think it's a 10 nanometer architecture. The battery specification of this phone was 3700 mAh. again, not on the higher side compared to competition, but the overall combination of efficient processor and the battery made it a, a phone which can last around a day on a medium to high usage. And yeah, in my experience, in my using this phone for the all of 4 years, I never felt it, feeling underpowered. So I don't do much of gaming on my phone, but I did play for some time games like PUBG and Call of Duty on this phone, and they ran fantastic. As you can see, there's no notch or any kind of punch hole cutout in this display, so you have the entire screen for viewing content, and that makes it one of the best phones for enjoying multimedia content. It supports L1 wideband certification, playing even HDR videos was no frill. This does support HDR videos both on the screen as well as on the processor. And yeah, so overall I would say, yeah, the display was definitely a fantastic feature of this phone. um, Let me just show you the drop down menu, the notification menu here. So again, at that point of time, Realme was keeping initially it was keeping everything totally different from stock Android, but after receiving Realme 1.0 UI, they started bringing the UI closer to stock Android. So yeah, there was a very good initiative by Realme to do this change. And let me just show you some of the apps which are so I've really downsized the app installation on this phone, but I was able to load it up with a lot of functional apps, and all these applications ran fantastic. Let me just quickly show you the camera of this phone as well. So the camera on this phone was is Sony IMX 486, I think, if I'm not wrong. And to give you comparison, this is the same camera unit which is there on OnePlus 7 Pro. So again, the photo quality of this camera is nothing short of 8 out of or 9 out of 10. It can shoot 1080p videos and even 4K videos, 1080p videos at 60 fps, and also it can shoot at 30 fps. But it can also shoot videos in 4K, but then at 30 fps only. When it comes to photos, the back camera is 48 megapixel main camera, and then it's a 2 megapixel depth camera. So if you shoot portrait photos with this camera, I mean with this phone, they would really come very sharp and crisp. Also, there was support for panoramic photos, time-lapse videos, slow motion videos, and there was also a expert mode available here, so you can really fine-tune your image quality as per your liking. So again, even though this phone is very dated, all these features are still functional in the 2023 era, I would say. And yeah, I've been running all sort of social media applications, all sort of business applications. I do use my phone to the best of its limit, and never did I find this phone being an underpowered device. Let me show you the pop-up camera of this phone as well. So this was a very good feature. Pop-up camera allows you to keep your front camera safe at all point of time. I mean, you just need to tuck it away, and so that protects it from any scratches or any external damage. Also, you can notice that the time taken for the camera to pop out and pop in back is less than a second. So kudos to Realme for bringing such fine technology here. And even though I've used the front camera a lot, even after 4 years of usage, there's no effect here of any wear or tear. This theoretically, this camera should have lasted a lot more, but I was very careful not to overdo the the pop out and pop in mechanism. but still really glad that it holded up very nicely. And what should I say after I show here now? So yeah, when it comes to software, there were few bloatwares, and they are still, even after Realme, bringing in many changes to the software. There are some bloatwares which are permanently there, like this O roaming and the phone manager, and then um, um, yeah, I mean and like hot apps and hot games, but you can mitigate around them very nicely by going through the settings and disabling notifications for them. And yeah, I would say if even though a camera setup can become dated very quickly, but if we use our phone in a proper fashion, we can actually make it last longer, beyond the 3 year or 2 year cycle time, which is becoming a norm nowadays. Um, so this phone never had any issues throughout my usage. I never faced any need for going to service center. Um, the battery life has degraded gracefully. Even now, after 4 years, I am still able to get around 3 hours of screen on time, and more or less, yeah. I mean, with depending on usage, we can use it maybe for a full day by two two complete power charges only. And it came bundled with a super fast charger, 65 watt supercharger, based on book technology. So yeah, that really helps in charging up your device fairly quickly. And yeah, I mean, the only reason I had to change or look for another phone was, right, Realme is not having any support for the phone battery or any spare parts for this particular model. So this is the only reason, I would say, I had to look for another phone, move on to another phone. Otherwise, I would say it can definitely last a couple of more years, technology wise and functionality wise. So and you can notice that I've applied this faux leather skin on the back end side. So this phone actually came with a very glossy back panel, plastic back panel, but I applied this faux leather skin, and that makes it very stylish and easier to grip as well. The camera unit is not having any noticeable bump, so you can actually place this device firmly on the surface, and won't wobble when you type. So again, all these things are becoming a rarity right now. It's almost impossible to find a device nowadays which you can just put on the surface without the camera unit protruding out like something abnormal. And even the hold of this phone is very nice. It does weigh on the heavier side. I think the weight of this phone is around 190 grams, so it is heavy phone to hold. Primarily that must be because of the battery technology at that point of time was not so advanced, and the border of this phone are actually metal. So these are actually metal, and yeah, maybe that attributed to the heavy weight of this phone. So yeah, I would say this goes on to explain that phones made by Realme or companies like Realme, Xiaomi, they initially started making very nice phones which were a super package at that point of time, and that is something rare to find nowadays. Um, to give you a perspective, the kind of features available in the sub 20,000 rupees in 2019 was actually much more valuable than what you get even in the sub 30,000 price packet right now. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good a good way to appreciate what we had in 2019. And yeah, the technology does has come a long way from them, but yeah, if used wisely, we can still by following simple steps, we can actually use a product to its expected lifetime, and yeah, run it through the entire life cycle. So yeah, that's all about this video. If you have any questions about this handset, or if you have used this handset at any point of time, let me know. I would like to hear about your experience with this phone. If you have had some other phone which you have used for a long time, let me know about it. It's always good to have a sense of a loyalty to a mobile handset, because this is one of those gadgets which we use a lot in our day-to-day activities. So I hope you find this video interesting to watch. Let me know about your suggestions and feedback in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.